Hey everyone, welcome to Death Space Filling the Void. My name is Patrick Jones. I'm a journalist based out of New York City. Currently live in Crown Heights in Brooklyn with my girlfriend Jamie, our dog Ollie, and our tortoise Franklin. As a journalist, I've made countless videos that are all across the internet on various topics, but I've wanted to do something on death for a very long time. The fact that we don't talk about death and dying and grief and everything that goes along with it, I mean, it's going to happen to all of us. And it seems as though it's swept under the rug. And then when we're going through grief or dying ourselves or you name it, we may not have the tools at our disposal to deal with that in the best way possible. And this isn't me just putting my thoughts out into the world. I'm using this podcast as a platform to learn myself, to hear from people of diverse backgrounds and thinking. And my hope is that through these discussions, we can all take something from them that can help us in times of need or really just day to day. It's hard to live with the fact that you know you're gonna die. But I also think there's a beauty to that. So starting March 4th, season 1 of Death Space Filling the Void is gonna kick off. The first season will be 5 episodes. The second season will be 10. And in those 2 seasons, I interview people who are open and kind enough to share their stories of grief. I interviewed a physicist on how the universe itself is going to die. I interviewed a former producer at NBC News to talk about how the news reports on death. I interviewed people who work in death. And so please look out for it wherever you get your podcasts. And please feel free to reach out to me on the podcast social media or my personal, which is Patrick_E_Jones. And thank you so much for listening. I'm looking forward to putting this out there. Thanks. I'd also like to mention a second podcast I'm working on called That Gives Me Anxiety. In that series, we talk about different things that scare us and why they may not be as scary as we think.